I mean, really. I have never seen a bunch of wannabe cops get off on searching people and running a device up and down each side of a person. I mean, I understand it. I do. I get it. But sometimes there are things that happen that they don't catch, that they don't detect. You can't detect a person that belongs to ISIS or has joined it, and they could be right here amongst us, people. That's a scary thought for me. Although I'm not afraid to die, I know where I'm going. Do you know? Does anybody know exactly where they're going? Do you know if you're going to heaven? I do know I am. At some point, I will go to heaven when I pass away. How do I know that? Because I was taught. I'm saved. Been saved since 1989. My good friend Diane introduced me to a church. Introduced me to the church she was going to, and to her pastor. And although it was a great church, it was a small family-run church, couldn't have asked for a better group of people. I couldn't ask for a better group of people out there listening, or downloading, or listening to this podcast. If you can hear me, if you can hear me talk, if you can hear this podcast, wake up and pay attention, people. I'm only saying this because I care. I'm not saying this because I know better. I don't know any better. I still have a lot to learn. I learn something every day, people. I'm not perfect. I'm a work in progress. I can say that. I can say that I mess up. I can say that I've done things I'm not proud of. But I do know that I'm forgiven. Can you forgive? I don't know. Does ISIS get forgiven? Probably not. Because they're just assassinate people, and they do it live on TV because they want everybody to see it to spook us, our kids, our grandkids, our nephews, our nieces, or whoever, or even our elderly. Our elderly are spooked enough. Just take them to a nursing home. Good grief! You want a poor-rated nursing home? Come to San Antonio. I know what I'm saying. If anybody out there is listening in San Antonio, feel free to email me. I have no problem with it. It's my opinion. This is still a country that has freedom of speech, especially in the United States. You guys want to talk about Congress? You want to talk about the president? You want to talk about things that are going on? You want to talk about finances? I mean, great, let's talk. But let's talk about something more important. What is going to happen when North Korea finally learns a way to launch a missile all the way to the United States that has deadly chemicals on it? Would you like to die like that? That's a slow, ungodly death. I've seen what it did to those kids over there at one time. We made strategic strikes over. You know what? I've seen what it did. I've seen it. I've seen those chemical weapons. I've seen what it can do and how it can make children suffer and adults suffer and what it does to the body. It slowly eats you from the outside in. It's a very painful, slow, ungodly death, and I don't wish it on anybody. And don't you dare wish it on anybody. I realize there are people out there that probably deserve it. You're right. ISIS deserves it too, but that's another story. Personally, I think ISIS should be taken out. A bombardment of planes should go over there and just start dropping bombs on them, along with North Korea and everybody else that wants to do us bad, or wants to hurt us, or fly planes into our trades, or to our Twin Towers like they did back in 2001. Thank God that anniversary's over. That's a nightmare in itself. It still hurts my feelings, even to this day. Even 16 years later, I think about that. And the effect it had on everybody. Everybody. No matter who you are, where you are, what you were doing, thinking, or saying, it affected you in some way. Whether you had somebody there or you didn't. If you have a heart and you have any kind of compassion for anybody else, it did affect you. It does affect you when you see on TV how children are being mistreated, how children are being victimized, how other people are being victimized just because they're an American. What's wrong with being an American? I don't get it. There doesn't seem to be anything wrong with being North Korean, obviously. because they keep trying to kill us, along with ISIS and people that want to fly planes into our buildings or shoot missiles over here to us. What is that all about, people? I don't get it. I don't want to die like that, but I have a feeling I might. Especially if North Korea gets their wish. Or ISIS gets their wish. Because they could live amongst us, people. They could live right here in our communities, in our towns, in our state, whatever. Think about that. There was another school shooting in Washington. Another school shooting. One person dead. The person that's dead is the person who tried to confront the kid that was going to shoot. You know that? Although there was more injured. But luckily, the police apprehended him. And he is now in police custody. Only because he's a minor, I cannot reveal his name. But according to my sources and according to what I've heard on my local news station, he is in custody. But he will be arraigned and charged as an adult for his crimes. And I hate to say this, he is a child. My God, what is this? What is this coming? What are we coming to, people? We got our children wanting to shoot other people, wanting to take weapons, guns, knives, you name it. They want to use them now. Why? What did we ever do to our kids to make them think like that? Or to even attempt it? That is horrifying to me, just horrifying. And it's got to be horrifying to you people out there. It really does. You know, my grandmothers, my family's mostly passed away, and they probably all have turned over in their grave. They're probably sitting up there going, oh my God, what in the world is going on down there? We need to wake up and pay attention, people. It's time. We got to pay attention to what's going on around us. What is being said on our local news? What is being written in our local newspapers? What are our schools doing? What are our teachers teaching our kids? Wake up and pay attention. Be a part of your child's life. Be there when they're on the computer. Be there if they're on their tablet or on your phone or on the internet. You don't know. You just don't know. There are internet bullies out there that will torment, tease, and really make your kid shut down and pull away, even from his family. We had a kid do it here. He ended his life because he was bullied on the internet. He hung himself in his room. His mom and dad found him. And to this day, it breaks my heart to think about that. He was young. And he had his whole life ahead of him, people. Whole life. And he's dead. Gone. Why? And I'm not sure if it was mom or dad's fault, or if they didn't monitor what he was doing, or saying, or thinking, or what. Or maybe they didn't see the signs. Most of us don't see the signs. We don't understand the signs. We don't recognize it because we don't think it's happening. Or our kids don't tell us, or we just don't. I don't know. We're so busy as individuals, as families, as whatever, that we miss it sometimes. And although it's bad that we miss it, but we're humans. We make mistakes. We foul it up. But I'll tell you what, we are forgiven. We're all forgiven, and we're all loved. And we're all put here for a reason. Let's find out that reason before we're all dead. Let's let our children find out the reason before they die. Because everybody has a gift. Everybody has a reason. What it is, I couldn't tell you. I don't know what my reasons are for being here. I do know that I'm here for a reason. And I do know that although I haven't had that great of a life, I don't have a lot of money like Donald Trump. I don't live in a big fancy house either. I live in a house, yes, but it's not big and fancy. It's not a mansion. I don't have maids, or as some people put it, slaves, which has been that was a long time ago. We did away with that. But I don't have anybody doing that. I clean my own house. I do my own cleaning. I wash my own dishes. I take care of my own kids. I cook my own meals. I even do shopping, believe it or not. Yeah, believe it or not. I don't like shopping. I'd rather do anything else but shop. I can't stand it. It's annoying. Because I am the type of person, I like to make wisecracks. However, in appropriate times. People don't seem to like it though. But I have to have a sense of humor. Look what's going on around us. I have seen and heard some things that are just, I don't know. To me, I don't want to believe it. But it's true. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. I've heard it with my own ears. People, please, pretty please, whatever it takes, we need to find out what this means. If this has any meaning, I know that somebody out there can help me find out that information and help make this podcast worthwhile. It's time that we wake up and pay attention, guys. Moms, dads, uncles, grandmas, grandpas, whoever you are. If you're around kids at any time, if you visit children at any time, if you work in a school, a high school, a college, whoever, make sure you wake up and pay attention to what those kids are doing. What are they doing on their computers, their tablets, their phones? Who are they chatting with? What are they doing on Facebook? Are they on what is going on with them? Make sure they're not. Pay attention. If they're closed off, they won't come out of the room and join the family for TV or dinner or movies or anything like that. You might want to talk to them. You might want to find out if there's something going on. Because if they start closing off and they start, ostracizing themselves from their family and friends and don't want to do anything, there could be a problem, people. I don't know all the signs. But it is something to work with and look for and get in and try to ask questions to get more information. I don't want to see anybody else's kids killed, and I want to see any kids kill themselves. I'm an advocate for children, pets, and elderly. I always will be, I always have been, and I will never stop. And if it's the last thing I do, I'm an advocate to get everybody to help me find answers to current events that are going on right this minute. They've been going on. It's just nobody cares to pay attention. They have earplugs in and blindfolds on, and their mouths are taped shut for some reason. You mean to tell me you can't ask questions? I know I can, and I'm going to from now on. Because I am understandably curious about what's going on right now and why. Does it have meaning? That's what I want to know. That's what this podcast is about. And it will continue to be about this until we find answers. Because there's people out there that need to know just like I do. Everybody has an inquiring mind. Depends on who you are, but there are people out there that do have inquiring minds. And I do have an inquiring mind. And no, I'm not the Inquirer, because if I was, I think that's Trash Magazine. I don't think they report any news at all. I think they just talk, really. And although that's what I'm doing, but mine is at least factual. Okay, I get mine from my local newspaper, my local news reports, the World News with Lester Holt, David Muir, whoever you watch. Do you watch Fox News, CNN? It doesn't matter. It's all news. It's accurate news. It's really going on. It's pretty bad when the Weather Channel starts reporting news and talking about it. Our own Ion San Antonio here reports news now. They've gone from being an entertainment thing for things to do around San Antonio locally here where I'm at, to having to report news, to talking about the storms and all the ravage in Florida and all the people that died, all the people that died here in Texas. It's pretty sad when that story and that TV show is meant to see how they live, how we live, to make other people laugh. We're not laughing, people. We're sad, we're brokenhearted, we're confused, we want answers. But we don't know where to find them. But we can all get together and start asking questions and then come together and talk about it and learn something together. I think that's a better way, don't you? Look, I'm asking you guys nicely to not only listen to this podcast, but pass